This is the old stonecutter, first introduced in Minecraft Pocket Edition over 10 years ago. It was designed to run on old cell phones but years later became what we know today. Since version 1.14 after 12 years of Minecraft, many items, bugs, and structures have been removed. Ruby ore once existed, dirt slabs could be crafted, ore textures changed, and villages looked very different. Few remember that. This video is pure nostalgia. In the meantime, Skype was replaced by Discord and several YouTubers disappeared while others emerged. Even Vinicius13 mourned the loss of the old zombie pigman, a charismatic mob older than many new Minecraft players.
Alright guys, we made it to the nether and man, right away we can find the new mob, which is the old zombie pigman, right? Now the name has changed. Now it's the what is it? Zombie piglin. Exactly, man. It looks much cuter now. See? It even has a little ear.
Davey, shut up, man.
What?
Bro, the zombie pigman is gone. We're never gonna see the zombie pigman again, man.
Poor guy, man. Ever thought about that? They removed the zombie pigman. F for the zombie pigman. I'm never taking down the decoration from my gold farm. Davizal, let's do it, man. A minute of silence for the zombie pigman, man.
Pay respects to Zombie Man, who joined us on many adventures in the old nether but now seems rather useless in the current underworld. Before the nether update, the texture was ugly, there was no netherite or other biomes. And back then, it was possible to craft saddles and horse armor using regular recipes. In Minecraft's mobile version, there was no redstone and crouching wasn't possible. Just like the inventory interface and the crafting interface were completely different as well. The Farlands were the boundary found in every Minecraft world. A uniquely bizarre and laggy structure that was more than 12 million blocks away from spawn. No player knows to this day what lies beyond them. Minecraft isn't infinite. Now, epic generations are replaced by a dull blue barrier. And the enchanted golden apple, also known as the notch apple, used to be craftable using gold blocks. It was an overpowered recipe, especially popular in certain game modes like Hunger Games. Any player would want to get one of those. The notch apple is now only found in structure chests, and the popular HG minigame is rarely played. And because of poor optimization, the Pocket Edition version didn't have a nether portal. A nether reactor, a rare mystical item, was needed to simulate the nether. Check out this meme and cry with me. The minecart with furnace was very useful, but it was removed. There was also a camera project in the game, which would literally be a way for the player to take instant shots in the game. But of course this idea was scrapped and didn't last very long. And speaking of that, we can't forget Minecraft Pocket Edition Master, a cool phone launcher for Minecraft with its own store for mods, textures, and more. Actually, I think Minecraft Pocket Edition, like early Minecraft versions, didn't have commands. You couldn't change the time of day or stop the rain, so mods added those features. In the alpha and dev versions, pressing G automatically summoned humans. Mobs with Steve's skin would run around the map just like mannequins that also walked around the world. Mutano and Black Steve were these oddities, even dropping feathers. How strange. Now, a big waste for sure were the gears. They worked similarly to redstone but could be placed on walls. Imagine what the Red Dust engineers could do today if they still had gears. Minecraft had multiple unused ideas, and this has happened more than once. Crying Obsidian, for example, existed in version 1.3 of the game. It was removed, then re-added years later in 1.16. Mojang can add gears to the game, I'm fine with that. Just don't add Black Steve, since I don't think that name would be accepted today. And well, in the original map of the game, there was also a common structure called the Brick Pyramid. It was literally a giant pyramid, but with the brick texture. Speaking of texture, I wonder if old players have already gotten used to the new Minecraft texture. In my view, the current version is much better. All ores and wool colors were remodeled, making the game more colorful and beautiful. Let's be honest, the old netherrock looked much worse. Also, they recently changed the bats texture. I think Mojang plans to remodel much of the game. Since it's something made more than 10 years ago, a lot of things ended up with outdated patterns, and as much as this messes with nostalgia, it's a key move to attract new players. We've already gotten used to structures like ruined portals, geodes, bastions in the nether, shipwrecks, woodland mansions, and everything else. But it's weird to imagine that there were versions where none of these things existed. The End City was added in version 1.9 just 7 years ago. Witch huts and swamps date back to version 1.4.2 from December 2012. We simply witnessed history being made. Speaking of 2012, how could we forget, of course, Herobrine? Venextreme made that epic video with the Legends mod, which remains popular. Chainmail armor has always intrigued new players since we didn't know how to make it. Some zombies spawn with it, and you can also find it in dungeons. You can't craft it now. Before version 1.8 there was a recipe, but it required fire, which was almost impossible to obtain. So Mojang, you could have just told us not to make it, right? The only way to make it was by using creative mode, the famous off-the-record mining. And what I remember is that in every village there was a well with water, really square and simple. The librarian's house, the church, the blacksmith's house, just like the whole village itself were completely revamped. In beta 1.6 there was a world generation type called Sky Dimension. You design a map of sky islands in a unique exotic style. I think that's possible again now. And something bizarre were the in-depth houses. When you created your map, a regular house would appear near you with torches and maybe a chest inside. Maybe the intention was to help the player early on or just be part of the game's lore. However, a really cool thing is that before there was support for potions, the idea was that they would be made in the cauldron. There aren't many images of this online, but it looked fun. Using glass bottles and ingredients, the cauldron's color would change. If I'm not mistaken, in the Bedrock Edition version, cauldrons are a bit more versatile and it is indeed possible to change the color of the water in them. You can even dye wool and leather armor. That's something interesting. The Bedrock Edition has several unique features, so the player who is playing one of the versions has no idea about anything from the other. In Bedrock, for example, if you give cookies to birds, they get the poison effect and die. But in the Java version, they end up dying instantly, but it wasn't always like that. When parrots were released in the first snapshots of version 1.12 back in 2017, the way to tame them was exactly by using cookies. Developers found it convenient then, as it gave the cookie a purpose, since it otherwise did little and barely restored hunger. It turns out they didn't imagine one thing: kids in real life started giving chocolate to birds thinking it was a good idea. And because of that, you tame birds and parrots in the game with seeds instead of cookies and chocolate. In this case, Mojang listened to outside influence and changed something in the game, so let's hope they listen to the community again. Another thing that people have probably already forgotten is that since 2022 players have received the other version of the game for free. If you had Java, you ended up getting Bedrock and vice versa. In the past you bought them separately, but now both always come together. This encouraged people to migrate Mojang accounts to Microsoft and made the other version more popular. Many people may not realize this wasn't the first time players had to migrate their accounts. Minecraft.net was the original login site for your Minecraft account. Later, we migrated to Mojang and eventually to Microsoft. At the time, you only needed your username and password to log into the old Minecraft launcher. And researching about it, we see that in 2015 and even a few years before, millions of usernames and passwords were leaked. Security was lower and you could buy multiple original accounts for under 10 reais. Does anyone else remember this, or was it just a collective delusion? Time really flies. The YouTuber Vilza made a really interesting video showing several of these differences. The most notable thing in my view is that you can build bridges. Looking straight ahead in the Bedrock version, even on the computer you look forward and can quickly place blocks in a straight line, something that was impossible in the Java version until now. This came from the Pocket Edition, where mobile devices didn't have a shift or crouch button at the time. And speaking of impossible, have you ever imagined merging the Nether portal with the End portal? In Java this isn't possible, but in Bedrock you can. This keeps both portals active and connected. Strangely, when a creeper affected by a potion explodes, it leaves a particle cloud that can affect players. Conversely, the armor stand in Bedrock is just insane. It has arms and you can change all the characters' positions, even equip swords and other items. That's something I would never imagine, since in Java this was never possible. Something interesting is to look at the game's wiki in the update history section. Throughout the history of the armor stand, we've seen many texture and feature changes, some of which go unnoticed or are forgotten. However, do you guys think it's possible to set a snowball on fire now? In Java, throwing them in fire does nothing. In Bedrock, it's the same. You can set enemies and mobs on fire with a snowball and fire. Surprisingly, in this version, you can place redstone blocks, repeaters, and more underwater. Imagine creating an underwater Atlantis from red dust. In Java, this was never possible, so any regular player would be surprised to see that. The boat recipe is usually 5 wooden planks, right? Not in Bedrock, you also need a shovel. It actually makes sense, because theoretically it would simulate the paddle, but whether you like it or not, it ends up being a pretty interesting difference. Interestingly, the shift key was added in Alpha version 1 in 2009 based on a forum player's suggestion. Reviewing the wiki and updates section, we see crouching underwent many changes. Currently, the shift key makes you smaller when you crouch, so you can fit under spaces less than 2 blocks high. That's not possible for those playing on older versions like 1.8. Many still prefer 1.8 for its PvP mechanics in multiplayer. Those who started playing recently probably don't know, but before 1.9 you could hit infinitely without any cooldown. That gave us epic battles and memorable moments like this, the day Edukov shined in the nostalgic Sky Wars.
Edu doesn't think about whether it's gonna go wrong, he just tries to make it work. Bro, you have to combo like 3 guys into the void over there.
What is it, bro? Oh my god, what are you doing, bro? You're going to kill!
Oh my god, what is it? What is it? I threw a party here, bro.
At that time, he played the old Hypixel mode with multiple 5-player teams, totaling 100 players. Edu's whole team had already been eliminated, so everything was in his hands. He didn't have a team, he didn't have any items, but he had a dream. In that same match, Edukov got another solo pentakill. I was 10, watching in the theater, my god.
I'm stuck! Oh my god! Look at that! Don't kill him! There's no... Nice. Go! Look at the bridge! On the bridge! Now who's behind? Pass, pass, pass! Back, back, back! Jump, 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 jump! No problem, no problem! Froze, got scared!
He won the match with 20 kills, taking out 20% of the server alone. You're like Scorsese, Edukov Jr. Years of Minecraft left more than just items. They left videos and YouTuber series too. Back in the day, you had to use Hamachi to play online with a friend, something that for kids looked like Egyptian subliminal codes. You set it up on Faith, but now admin and other solutions exist, so today's youth are in good hands. Even Minecraft Ultimato from 2020 is already starting to feel nostalgic. A 40 YouTuber series that defined the holidays with daily videos and live streams. F for those memories, guys. From Paraíso by Resident Evil to Escola Monstro by Authentic Games, we all have fond memories from those times. And speaking of those two, I believe even the beef between them is in the past now. There was a Minecraft Cold War where influencers from those groups competed, but that's all in the past now.
For me, that was great for both of them. Rivalry, man, you need one. Batman is only good because he has the Joker, man. Superman is only good because, I don't know, he has Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is kind of weak, right?
He's weak, that's true. Someone should beat him up. Doomsday maybe, I don't know.
That rivalry of ours was really good for both of us. The subscribers benefited most. It was the audience. Today at the book fair, I met several grown-up subscribers who told me their favorite years for my channel were 2015 and 2016. We were always competing to make the best video. So it was like this. Resende would release a series and I would think, hold on man, tomorrow I have to make a series too. His level was always high, man. Then he'd say, hey, Authentic released one, man. It was always at Authentic's level or higher. So for the audience, there was a new video coming out about everything every day. That's when the series Paradise and Lost came out on my channel, which are really well known. Perfect Girlfriend and The Sims Craft. So it pushed us to create good content. I wanted to be on an halter and in YouTube's spotlight. If I don't do it well, Resende will, so I have to go. And he's not just going to make one, he's going to make 3 videos. Wait, I need to nail one and still get the second right.
Don't cry because it's over. I think there's no better phrase than this to end this video.